Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MPWF Underground episode 21. I am your host as always, Dwayne James Johnny Feelgood, and what a special night of action we have for you. We are live in Boston, Massachusetts, and it is right before the Royal Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, our next quick review on YouTube, and just one more video before this will be the 2026 Royal Rumble. And folks, we're going to preview a big time here with some big matches. We have a number one contendership gauntlet matchup for the Light Heavyweight Championship, as well as our opening contest will be for the Women's Underground Championship, which we will be transitioning to the ringside area live here tonight, folks. Again, we got a massive night of action for you. We are so close to the Royal Rumble. You can feel the anticipation in the air. You can feel the excitement in the air as we head to what I believe will be the biggest Royal Rumble in MPWF history. And making her way to the ring first, ladies and gentlemen, a woman who has been building a lot of momentum recently here in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation is Six, a member of the ATL. I should say that loosely. Her and Lil Beast have been arguing over recent episodes. Lil Beast not doing what Six has wanted. Six believes that Lil Beast is not helping her succeed. Six wants to become dominant here in the MPWF, and she wants that Women's Underground title. And quite frankly, if she could win this matchup tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if she opts to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship instead of the Women's Tag Team titles. And again, if this is your first time watching Underground, welcome to the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. But the Underground Championships are special titles where the winners of those championships can challenge and cash in on an episode of Underground for any divisional championship in the MPWF. For the women, that's the tag team titles and the Intercontinental title. For the men, there's a whole list on War. You can challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship, the tag team titles, or the European title. And Annihilation, you can challenge for the Zero Limits title, for the tag team titles, and then soon to come, the Light Heavyweight Championship. But again, Six broke the hand of this woman at the Welcome to YouTube show, and Ingrid has been out of action since then, and she is the current reigning and defending Women's Underground Champion, the fourth I should say in the MPWF. The first was Bahara Kadia. Six beat her for the title. Six cashed in with the ATL on Ingrid and Helga, the Nightmare, for the tag team, and then Faye Bartlett was the Underground Women's Champion. And then Ingrid, after Faye Bartlett was injured and unable to defend the title, Ingrid won the Women's Underground Championship. And this is her first match since winning the title. You see how heavily taped the hand is. We're going to have to see if that becomes a factor here tonight in this matchup. Again, Six defeated legendary MPWF wrestler Helga in singles competition on our last episode. She's going to have to go one-on-one now with Ingrid, with the niece here, with the machine for the Women's Underground Championship. Again, Ingrid is a main event player here, has been in the tag team division on MPWF War, and much like I mentioned a couple episodes back with Lethal Mathematics on MPWF War, these are big singles players. They're competing in the singles division at the moment, in the tag team division at the moment, but at any given time, things could change and they could dominate the singles division, and Ingrid is one of those competitors. Again, let's remember, Ingrid was a former Intercontinental Champion, and she can still cash in. We saw Kane Knight become the European Champion for the Annihilation brand. So again, we know that you can cash these in, cross-branded. And again, if this is your first time watching the MPWF, we have two brands, War and Annihilation. Our red brand is War, our blue brand is Annihilation, and this is a War-branded matchup, folks. So again, a lot of history going into this one. The ATL hit and run guerrilla tactics on Nightmare Fuel finally got the tag team titles off of them, and then Nightmare Fuel cost them in their first title defense, making them lose the titles to Strikeforce. Bahara Kadir and Ashanti Capoeira, and Ingrid has been waiting a long time for this one. Ingrid trained in the Bloodshed Fight School. We've already seen successful students in Angel Ortiz, in Klaus. Again, what an unreal ending to MPWF Annihilation. Unreal ending. But as well as Rhino Rick Jones, Savage Weight Shane Riley. You know, the Team Bloodshed has been all over the Major Pain Wrestling Federation, has found success one of the most successful training facilities in all of core wrestling. And now Ingrid going to try and break the arm there of 6. And like I said, Ingrid is always a favorite to winning the Royal Rumble matchup. And again, she has been out of the singles division in this past year, but I think she has a strong shot at winning the Rumble. And you see how she is punishing 6 by going after the arm and shoulder here, making sure that she can bring that instant karma to 6. And a big forearm smash. And again, 6 was also successful in the singles division. Right before WrestleMania 10 in the Women's WrestleMania tournament, 6 went on to face Justice Fitzgerald in the finals and just came up short. Well, sorry, I should say, she faced her in the semifinals, and Justice Fitzgerald actually defeated Ingrid in the finals of that tournament in order to become the Women's Champion at WrestleMania when she beat Angelina Peace. And again, this is your first time watching the MPWF. There's a lot of names being thrown out here, folks, but it's all history. It's all history. We're catching you up. As 6 now goes straight after that broken hand there of Ingrid. And we usually don't see 6 go after a body part here, but she knows that those hands are in serious pain. And you see there the way that Ingrid is shaking off that right hand. That caught more of the damage. 6 slammed a car hood right there on the hands of Ingrid, instantly shattering that right hand. And for most competitors, they wouldn't even be back right now. But Ingrid, again, is special type of wrestler, folks. There's no other way to say it. Ingrid is one of the toughest competitors ever in the MPWF. And now again, 6 though is going to make sure she does some serious damage to that hand to make sure that Ingrid will never be able to use that hand the same again. We know autograph signings by Ingrid once this one is done and she gets thrown across the mat here. And 6 is saying that it's easy work, easy money. Again, 6 would be the first ever 2-time Women's Underground Champion if she wins this matchup here tonight. And she said it as well, that she wants to win the Royal Rumble matchup. 6 again believes that her time is now. That there's no more time to mess around. WrestleMania season is coming up again. When I talk about that semifinals of the WrestleMania tournament, that was before WrestleMania 10. We're going up to WrestleMania 12. And 6 believes that she is no better off now than she was then, and she's trying to change that. And she is zeroed in on this arm and this hand, and has grounded Ingrid, which is something you don't see too often here in the Major Japan Wrestling Federation. And now she's got her here in that camel clutch. And again, 6 is wrestling a very, very smart wrestling matchup. Again, she is the cousin of Justice Fitzgerald, meaning her uncle, Tyrone Fitzgerald, MPWF Hall of Famer. 6 is not unintelligent when it comes to wrestling, folks. She's grown up in the wrestling business. Again, Ingrid, her aunt is Helga. Both of these women, second-generation competitors, have grown up wrestling. And now look at that elbow there by 6. And now 6 with that right hand there. And now has her up on her shoulders. And now takes Ingrid down there with a Death Valley driver. That's a lot of impact there by 6 to try and win this matchup here. But a kick out. Again, both these women very, very large, folks. Very powerful. Again, 6 herself, 6 feet tall. Ingrid, 5'10". Very strong, powerful women. Very dominant in the ring. It's now a collar elbow tie up again here. And now look at that back suplex there. And 6 targeted the neck right there of Ingrid with that with that back suplex. That sounded like Owen Hart. He kicked his leg out of his leg. She suplexed her neck out of her neck. But 6 picking her back up here. Again, what a way to start off episode 21 of MPWF Underground. Again, I mentioned the ending to Annihilation, but War was just as crazy, folks. So, you know, everybody building towards the Royal Rumble. As Ingrid whips her off the ropes, trying to fight back here and now. Oh, catches her with that spine buster. You see the way she reversed the impact. And now Ingrid telling the crowd that she's in this. Don't worry about the hand. And Ingrid there with a knee strike right to the face there of 6. And now, wait a minute, Ingrid going to the top rope, a place that she doesn't go too often. 6 is in trouble here. And Ingrid off the top rope, taking down 6. And Ingrid using that hand And again, it's heavily taped, and she's trying to show that she is okay. And Ingrid now has her up here on her shoulders this time. And Ingrid now with a reverse slam there, 2-6. And that could be it. Ingrid, or a rope break, I was going to say, she could retain the championship. And 6 with the wherewithal to grab the ropes. And now Ingrid got 6 on the top turnbuckle here. And this is going to be a unfortunate landing for 6 if this move goes off without a hitch. As she has her up top the rope there. Oh my goodness gracious me. A gut-wrench suplex off the top turnbuckle there by Ingrid. The Machine going for the cover here. 2. I know. 6 just gets the shoulder up. You can hear the crowd appreciating this matchup in Boston, Massachusetts. We usually are in the MPWF arena for Underground, so we are on the road here before the Royal Rumble. We have sold out this crowd. Again, it's a very, very big show, a special edition of Underground, as 6 throws Ingrid off of it. And 6 with a big right hand there. And now wait a minute. 6 playing some of Ingrid's game here with the sleeper hold, trying to make her tap out. And now Ingrid, though, too well versed in submissions. That is Ingrid's MO. Again, trained with Team Bloodshed, has that MMA style to a T, ladies and gentlemen. As she picks 6 all the way back up here to her feet. And now here's the strike combinations there by the champion. Wow, what a big right hand there, and a spear by Ingrid, and that could be it. Ingrid now hooking a leg here on her adversary for the cover, and no. She said for the win. She has the cover. Again, this is late night MPWF Underground, ladies and gentlemen. We know how we do it. She now goes for the clothesline, and no, 6 catches her there. And 6 now to go to the top rope. We could see a tsunami as she hits it. Big tsunami up the top rope there by 6 to win the championship. And no, Ingrid gets the shoulder up one more time here. 6 getting frustrated. She had Helga beat by now. Here a women's wrestling chant here. They appreciating the action in Boston, Mass. And now she's going to go for the Death Valley driver for the second time here. And there's a second Death Valley driver there by 6. And this could be it. Oh, 6 was looking for a big move, but gets kneed right in the face of the clothesline there. And 6 rolling to the ropes to protect herself. And now Ingrid with a big clothesline, sending 6 all the way to the outside. And now wait a minute. Ingrid going to the outside of the ring here. And wait, hold the phone. Ingrid now undoing the announce table, folks. Again, she wants to put the punishment on 6. And both of these women not afraid of each other at all. You notice in this matchup, there's no intimidation. And oh, wait a minute. 6 just, what is that? I don't want to say beheading, but I mean, she tried to. It was an attempted beheading there on the ropes. Attempted guillotine, that's the word, ladies and gentlemen. What they were doing out there to the bourgeoisie back in ancient French times and the medieval times, ladies and gentlemen. Have a little bit of a history lesson here on the Underground commentary team. Let's now wait a minute. Oh, 6 is going to go and drive Ingrid through this table. Ingrid set it up for her, but no, Ingrid fights back here. And now wait a minute, Ingrid has 6 up. Oh, there's a powerbomb through the table. And exploding the announce table. Your opening contest for the Women's Underground Championship. As Ingrid now throws 6 back inside the ring here. And that's got to be it here. And that is wise there by Ingrid to retain the championship here on 6. No, 6 just got the shoulder up. And like I said, 6 of the ATL is proving herself here, folks. She is trying to show the world that I am ready for that next step. Whether it's Carly Carmichael, whether it's Justice Fitzgerald, whether it's Serenity, whoever has a Women's World Championship, 6 wants it. But so does Ingrid. So does the Machine as she's now driving these knees to the face here at 6. And Ingrid, with this crowd fully on her side. And now she's trying to go for a submission again there, but 6 able to reverse it. And now 6 there with a big chop, and that one dropped Ingrid. And now 6 sending her into the buckle. And now, oh my goodness, a hip attack there into the midsection. If I was 6, I'd go back to working on that arm again. That arm was what was working. And oh, wait a minute, Six telling her to get up here. And now Six going to the top rope. And we know she goes there through the tsunami, but not usually a move like this, and went for the crossbody. Ingrid moved out the way, and now Ingrid has Six up. And Six is in trouble here, and now there's the F5. F5 by Ingrid to Six with the cover. 2. Ingrid retains the championship. A hell of a contest here to start off MPWF Underground. Ingrid to retain the Women's Underground Championship and to get back that retribution on Six in the ATL here tonight. Again, Lil Beast didn't come out here at all. She left Six to fight this matchup by herself. And you know, again, I got to give kudos to that. This was one-on-one. It was a fight. But Ingrid able to come out on top here with the win. Death Valley Driver. Six was hoping for it to be the end, but Ingrid would not give up in this matchup. You see her kicking out time and time again. Ingrid had to deal with that injured hand, but was able to pull out the victory again with moves like this. That spinning reverse slam there to Six. And that was off the spear there where she went for the cover, hoping it was the end of the match, but Six able to kick out again. There's the tsunami. Like I said, they were throwing bombs here tonight, folks. They were throwing Hail Marys throughout this whole matchup. And there was the missed crossbody. Six going for a move she doesn't usually go for, and then gets caught with the F5 here by Ingrid, and wham! And there is your winner. Again, Ingrid was in the running for the top women's wrestler on MPWF War. And again, I think the way she's starting this year off, I think people have forgotten about what Ingrid brings to the table. And she's looking to bring that back. We saw her dominance in the Women's Underground title matchup. We see her dominance here tonight. I don't know if anyone is going to be able to take that title away from her. And whichever championship she chooses to cash in on, I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop her at all. And oh, wait a minute, folks, there's Helga, the Art of Ingrid. And Six is in trouble. And oh my goodness, this is going to be the complete retribution, the complete payback here. As, wait a minute, the Nightmare Fuel is going to go for the Nightmare Fuel up the top rope. The Avalanche 3D. Six is going to the pain. And oh my goodness. They brought that major pain action there with that Avalanche 3D off the top rope. And Nightmare Fuel finally gets their revenge on the ATL. Six gets dominated here. Look at this off the top rope. Oh my goodness. So again, Ingrid going to compete in the Royal Rumble matchup as well as Helga. And Ingrid still having a shot at a championship with that Underground Women's title. Again, 2026 looks to be great for Nightmare Fuel. So what a way to start off MPWF Underground, ladies and gentlemen. Still to come, we have the Gauntlet matchup. 8 men will compete. 1 person will face Charlie Jean for the Light Heavyweight Championship on episode 22 of Annihilation. And I cannot wait to find out who will be the first ever MPWF Light Heavyweight Champion, folks. But right now, we are going to head to the backstage area, I'm being told, as Serenity and Cat Smalls are deep in conversation, folks. So let's hear what they have to say here. And Cat Smalls still running with Justice Fitzgerald. Not that we're surprised, but Serenity saying, look, Cat, you got to think for yourself. I can only give you my advice. Justice is bad news, but you already know that. You already know the only person that she thinks about is herself. The question is that what you want for yourself? If you want to be selfish and have no respect and no friends, then you can follow down her path. But if you want to become a woman that everyone looks up to, the woman that everyone wants to be, you'll create your own path. Do things your own way. Don't become the next Justice Fitzgerald. Become the first Cat Smalls. I think Serenity is 100% right on her observation with that. And Kat says, Serenity, the truth is, I want both. I want to be the most respected woman in the locker room like yourself, but I also want to be feared like Justice. You both are opposite sides of the same coin. The perfect coin. I don't want to pick a side. I want to be both. Well, that's interesting there by Kat Smalls. She can see the value in both Serenity and Justice Fitzgerald. She says, Kat, no matter what you do, a coin always has two sides. You'll eventually have to pick one. You will eventually have to choose what's more important to you. But this is a warning. I need to settle this with Justice at the Royal Rumble. Whatever you're going through, do not get involved. This is between me and her. And it is one of the most anticipated rematches of all time at the Royal Rumble between Justice Fitzgerald and Serenity will take place, folks. But right now, we got ourselves another matchup. Singles competition, this time from the Annihilation brand, and a special singles matchup, folks. And again, this one is for, what do you want to call it, the MPWF sickos, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, if I can steal that term from the Twitter website. We got two MPWF Originals, two MPWF Legends, gonna fight each other in a matchup. It is gonna be two powerhouses, folks. We got ourselves some big meaty men slapping meat here tonight. The Avenger is gonna go one-on-one with Systematic Carnage here, folks. You talk about a big-time matchup. You talk about a fight that we're about to see here. Two men that simply just want to slug. That's it. You talk about Hail Mary in that first matchup. You about to be prepared for what we see next here. The Avenger coming off a tag team victory with Ricky Cash. I'm being told that Ricky Cash may not be able to compete in the Royal Rumble, folks. Suffering broken ribs, 3 ribs, and right there on his left side, and then 2 ribs on his right side, folks, taking that spear through the barricade at the hands of the Savage Weight Shane Riley, who will be in the #1 contenders gauntlet matchup. So we will definitely talk more about that as it comes on, but Ricky Cash in bad shape after Annihilation, folks. But here he comes, the Harbinger of Souls, Systematic Carnage. And to this day, this man still gets the respect, still gets a pop, folks. You know, we were talking about Joey Eagle having one more world title run. Selfishly, DJ would love to see Systematic Carnage with a world title run, folks. Could you imagine the dominance that we would see? But again, Carnage ain't about that now, folks. He's about trying to bring a new era forward. Again, continuing the mentorship from Sean Stevens with Christopher Eagle. We saw Yoshihari Atari speak to Eagle on Annihilation. Eagle going through it much like the rest of us, folks. Again, Christopher Eagle watched his brother run down his father. Then we saw the Marcus 118 t-shirt. So a lot going on here in the MPWF. Carnage tapping out to his son on our previous episode of Underground and a tag team title matchup. But again, Carnage, you know, not crying in the breast milk, as they say, folks. He is coming right here for a rebound, right here to fight, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to try and get a victory here against the Avenger. And again, it's going to be a tough battle for both of these men. So here we go. Again, KK Crown, we've talked about it before. He is not afraid to book a match. On Annihilation, we saw that exhibition match between Faye Bartlett, the Intercontinental Champion, and Serenity, the Women's World Champion. And these two men said, I want to fight. And KK Kwam said, I got 2 men coming to my office telling me that they want to fight. So you know what? This is open fight night. This is the Underground. You can see it there. The Underground logo there on the Titantron. This is the Underground. This is where you come to settle your differences. This is the proving grounds of the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. And again, proving yourself, there's no age limit. No matter how old these veterans are, they're still out here to prove themselves. And again, Avenger trying to knock down Systematic Carnage. And Carnage is a tough cookie to crack, ladies and gentlemen. And Carnage now, oh, getting caught there with the knee. Carnage was feeling real good, but oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. And now catching him, and there's a headbutt by Systematic Carnage. And Carnage now gonna take the Avenger And go for the boot. And not the Avenger pulling down the ropes, and Carnage collapsing to the floor here. And now there's a big double axe handle there by the Avenger. And again, both of these men in the ever-growing tag team division on Annihilation. We saw the return of Cash Money Inc. with King of Rock, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the only reason I'm upset about Avenger Wrestling Singles here, folks, is that we don't get to hear King of Rock. But Carnage teaming with Christopher Eagle. We need to find new number one contenders for the MPWF Tag Team Championships held by Abraham and Gabriel of the Void. And now the Avenger with a big STO takedown there on Carnage. And the Avenger here with these left hands. And you think that Carnage is worried about this? Carnage likes this, folks. Carnage likes to get into fights with people. Avenger likes to get into fights with people. They're more upset sitting on their couch doing nothing. Right? They want to be out here beating the hell out of somebody. That's what they want to do, folks. That's their MO. A kick out there by Carnage. And now the Avenger sends Carnage into the buckle. That big right hand there by the Avenger. And an uppercut. So again, as we mentioned, with both Cash injured, Christopher Eagle going through it, Sean Stevens buried, both men's partners, part of their factions, are dealing with a lot. So, you know, there's a lot on the shoulders of both of these men in this matchup. As the Avenger throws Carnage into the ropes, and now Carnage with a reversal kick to the midsection, and a big knee strike, kitchen sink there by Systematic Carnage. And Carnage now sends the Avenger off the ropes again here. And now big tilt-a-whirl slam there. Side slam. Systematic Carnage, a former world champion, former internet champion, former tag team champion. He's done it all. The Avenger has won every championship except the world title. Again, both of these men have held over double digits of championships between the two of them here in the MPWF. The Avenger realizes he needs to fight back here, and he has Systematic Carnage on those big shoulders, and oh my goodness, there's the jock drop, or the Celtic cross. You can take it the way you see it, have it the way you want it, as he went for the cover and a kick out there. And again, the jock drop, Jim Jocko gonna face Dion Jackson, the money for the World Wrestling Future Championship at Core Wrestling Global Genesis. And I wait, what's the Avenger doing here? And a big knee strike there sends Carnage all the way to the floor. What a shot there by the Avenger. And again, I talk about Core Wrestling Global, folks. Genesis will arrive to YouTube. It's just, life has been very, very busy, folks. And wait a minute, the Avenger there with a powerbomb on the floor. The Avenger taking this match to the next level here. But again, what was supposed to happen with Core Wrestling Global, folks, is that was going to be recorded after Underground, but we ended up recording Super Slam Showdown. And folks, again, when Sierra comes to you and says, hey, I want to do a show, it's got to happen. So Super Slam Showdown has become a thing, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in to watch a Super Slam Showdown. Both myself and Sierra appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the show. Again, if you have any kids or nieces and nephews that want to be involved in wrestling but want a show that's more digestible for their age level, that's what Super Slam Showdown is. But because of that, we haven't had as much time for Core Wrestling Global, but Genesis will arrive on our CWG channel on YouTube. There's a big scoop slam there by Carnage. So it will come, folks. DJ will never lie to you. Now the Avenger going for those big strikes. And now a shot to the midsection there by Carnage again. And Carnage throwing the Avenger into the buckle. Now look at these right hands here. These men have just been scrapping from the very get-go of this matchup. You know, we ain't seeing no submission holds. There's no triple Lindy flips off the top ropes. It's been right, left, boot. That's what it's been, folks. And now with a DDT there to the Avenger. Carnage dropping him to the mat here. Going for the cover again. And a kick out. And not to mention that, singles-wise, one of these men, Angel Ortiz, who we thought was injured, going to have to vacate the title, is going to need a number one contender for that Zero Limits Championship as well. I know, wait a minute, he was going for that chokeslam on the top rope. Avenger realized that and was like, I got to get the hell out of here. And Carnage tried to bubble and weave right into a clothesline. And now the Avenger wants something big here off the top rope. And the Avenger, oh no, getting caught there by Carnage. Right in the midsection. And oh, Carnage with it. Look at these heavy strikes here by Systematic Carnage. And throws the Avenger into the buckle. And oh my goodness. Carnage is saying that's it. And now he goozles him on the throat. And there's a choke slam off the top turnbuckle there by Systematic Carnage. And my goodness, folks, that's it. And it is. Top rope choke slam there by Systematic Carnage. Picks up the victory here in the Underground. Again, two veterans going at it here. I don't even know if they proved that they still had it. They just was like, we are going to have a fight. And I'll tell you what, I'd love to see a rematch of this one, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you see these two veterans go scrap for scrap here. Look at this powerbomb on the floor by the Avenger. They're just beating each other's asses here on Underground. This was great. So I want to replay that knee strike that the Avenger gave Carnage, sent him to the outside of the ring. That was big time. But again, Carnage bringing some much needed momentum back to the darkness here tonight, folks. The darkness have been struggling, especially since Halloween Havoc. Honestly, since SummerSlam, when we failed to defeat the Void in that 6-man tag team matchup. And this is the type of victories that they need here. And now look at this. Signaling to the Avenger, it's done. Big hand on the throat. Choke slam, bam. Hell yeah, folks. That's what I'm talking about. And the veteran with the win, ladies and gentlemen. Again, one episode so far of MPWF Underground. Live in the sold-out arena. We got 9,000 fans here in the building in Boston, Mass, preparing for the Royal Rumble. And hold on a minute. There's going to be a very unhappy Six with what happened. And she's saying, where the hell were you? I was out there getting my ass kicked by Nightmare Fuel. What's the deal? And Six is mad about that, folks. She is wondering what on earth Lil Beast was doing in the back. And Lil Beast says, I was sitting in the back letting you take the lead because that's what you want, right? Because you think what I do is easy. I got us the tag team titles. I won't settle for that disrespect from anyone, let alone you. I'm a former world champ. The first CW Women's World Champ, in fact. If you know what's best, you can deal with Nightmare Fuel on your own. And now hold on a minute here. Lil Beast piping up to Six here. And like I said, these two women have been arguing for quite some time here on Underground. Since losing the tag team titles, it's almost like it was too much. Wait a minute. Six just put her hands on Lil Beast and just slammed her into the hood of the car. Oh, I'm getting PTSD about seeing this car here. We saw what happened with the car on New Dawn Rising. And now, wait a minute. Six, what are you doing here? And now Six just powerbombed her on the windshield. Oh my goodness. That might be the end of the ATL, ladies and gentlemen. A vicious powerbomb on the apron. My goodness gracious me, and wait a minute. This was not scheduled, folks. This is the European champion, the Tattoo Terminator, Kane Knight. And again, he's going to be pissed off. Kane Knight had an opportunity to compete in that Royal Rumble preview matchup on MPWF War, but was taken out at the hands of Generation of Scum member Ares, the son of the Hall of Famer Apollo, as well as Tom Sawyer. So Kane Knight must be coming out here to address the fact that he missed out on that chance to not only become the North American champion and become the Euro-American champion, but also the opportunity to challenge Lamar James Jackson at the Royal Rumble for the heavyweight championship of the world, which the winner and new North American champion Antonio Goldman is doing. He will meet Lamar James Jackson. But right now, let's hear from Kane Knight. And Kane Knight said, at the Welcome to YouTube show, I officially became a member of the MPWF World roster. My plan was to take this European Championship and build its prestige, but that has been derailed by a man named Ares, by a group called Scum, Clearly, they want their hands in every piece of the pie here on War. Clearly, Lamar James Jackson thought I was a threat because he made sure I was not in the Royal Rumble preview match. Well, I want to make it very simple. If you want me out, Aries, come to the ring and take me out. Well, this is what we call an old-fashioned challenge, ladies and gentlemen. K-Knight saying to Aries, forget attacking me from behind. Bring your big ass out here and let's scrap. Again, this is open fight night. This is underground. I love this. But hold on a minute. This is not the music of Aries. It's of a former European champion in Greg James, the Righteous. Greg James has been itching at a shot for the European title. He also got to compete in the Royal Rumble preview matchup, or I should say he got to, because Tom Sawyer and K-Knight didn't. Greg James was obviously unable to win that matchup. We mentioned Antonio Goldman became the new North American champion and the man that will face Lamar James Jackson, but maybe Greg James is hearing that K-Knight wants to fight and is volunteering himself as tribute here tonight. Greg James says, look, Kane, I don't care about your issues with Scum or anyone else for that matter. The only thing I care about is wrestling and that European Championship. The night you won the title here on Underground, episode 19, I said that I was going to face the winner and get my title back, and you have the title. So tonight, I want my shot at the European title. Well, Greg James is saying that he wants the shot. Forget about Aries. Forget about Scum. He wants K-Knight one-on-one. And Knight says, I'm not in the mood to smash. I'm in the mood to smash someone tonight. So run to the back, put your little wrestling boots on. I will fight for the European title. I apologize, folks. K-Knight is in the mood to smash, ladies and gentlemen. You can take that information how you will. But he wants to smash someone here tonight on Underground. Wait a minute here. We got another interruption. And this is the interruption, the music of the former European champion, the modern day warrior, Tom Sawyer. And what an ovation for Tom Sawyer. A young competitor that has been proving himself here on the Underground. Came in from the World Wrestling Future, won the European title off of Greg James, was a surprise replacement against his Wayne Level, was taken out at the hands of Zeus, and Wayne Level has been on the injured reserve list ever since then. But that led to Tom Sawyer stepping up big time. And then Tom Sawyer on episode 19 had an incredible battle with K-Knight for the European Championship when he fell short on. And now Tom Sawyer is, I'm for sure thinking, going to throw his name into the hat here. If anybody wants a shot at the European title, it's going to be the modern day warrior. We got ourselves a little bit of a situation going on here, folks. And Tom Sawyer says, I need to make a few things perfectly clear. Kane, I've never had my rematch for the European title. And Scum also targeted me. Aries targeted me. If anyone is going to call out Scum, it's Tom Sawyer. But unlike Greg, I'm not going to cry and complain about a title shot. I'll earn it. Greg, I beat you for the European Championship. I've retained against you. I'll take you on one more time to make sure I am the rightful #1 contender. So Tom Sawyer is saying, give me Greg James here tonight, and we'll find out who's the #1 contender. And I don't think Greg James wants that. I think Greg James just wants a title shot. K-Knight says, I don't care who fights tonight as long as I'm involved. In fact, I'll deal with both of you at once. Let's make it a triple threat match for the European title tonight. My goodness, folks, we already have a big-time Gauntlet matchup taking place next. And wait a minute. Give me 2 seconds. I'm being told my headset by Brian Adams, it's official. The main event for Underground is going to be a triple threat matchup for the European title. Greg James, Tom Sawyer, K-Knight here on this edition. Again, I told you, big things coming, folks. Big things popping, little things stopping here, folks. And now we're going to have our Gauntlet matchup to determine who will face Charlie Jean for the light heavyweight title on episode 22 of Annihilation, ladies and gentlemen. There's a big opportunity for the Annihilation roster. Again, we know the rules that you can have to weigh 230 pounds or under, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, you will be able to challenge for the light heavyweight championship, a belt that has never been in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. So let's take a look at the rules here. 2 superstars will start in the ring. When one superstar is eliminated, a new superstar enters. Elimination can occur by pinfall, submission, or disqualification. The match continues until one superstar remains, and that superstar will be declared the winner and #1 contender. Now we know the two entrants starting off this gauntlet matchup, and for good reason. On Annihilation, Dragonheart said that he wanted a piece of Billy Valentine, and he spoke to KK Kwam, and KK Kwam said, I got an idea. I'm going to have you two start the gauntlet matchup. Now that's going to be tough on you, Dragonheart, because if you want to become the #1 contender, you have to go through everyone. But Dragonheart said he's ready for the challenge, as long as he can get his hands on Billy Valentine. Again, these two men have been feuding since the core challenge. After the core challenge, it needs to come to an end soon here, folks. The Dragonheart saying he needs to get his hands fully on Billy Valentine. Well, tonight is the night. Only one man can move forward. Again, Billy Valentine has never been pinned or submitted here in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. That is his big claim, that no one's been able to do it. Dragonheart wants to be the first. And oh my goodness, interrupting him before he even finishes his entrance. Again, this is the disrespectful nature of Billy Valentine that we have grown to know. We've grown to see here, the androgynous one. Billy Valentine makes his way to the ring. Again, he was the winner of the core challenge. And I mean, again, there's no one in the core challenge that had the character, that had the charisma that Billy Valentine possesses. Now again, with this much charisma also comes this much arrogance. This man sings himself to the ring. You can hear him straining with his voice, straining to sing in front of this crowd, ladies and gentlemen, as he makes his way to the ring here. But that's Billy Valentine, one of the most unique wrestlers, most unique characters that we have ever seen in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. And honestly, for Billy Valentine, since winning the core challenge, I think he spent more time focusing on humiliating Dragonheart than he has on his own success. And I think that a victory here for Billy Valentine could move him further on here in the MPWF as well. But again, there's not going to be any crowd here that wants to see Billy Valentine. There's not going to be any crowd here that is going to be on his side. Which is amazing, because Billy Valentine was winning some of those core challenge fan votes leading up until this matchup, leading up to the final, that took place at SummerSlam. And again, these two men had one hell of a matchup at SummerSlam. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. And then the rematch, the tables match at Bound by Honor, was just as, Halloween Havoc was just as good, ladies and gentlemen. Bound by Honor was a good event. It's late night for MPWF Underground, folks. DJ's tripping over himself. Need to whip out that Rockstar Black Cherry, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way to go. Black Cherry Rockstar, maybe a Tropical Mango. You can take it the way you see it, have it the way you want it. But we need ourselves an energy drink, because the energy is going to be high octane as this one, as Dragonheart going straight after Billy Valentine. And oh, wait a minute. Dragonheart not wasting any time here with his adversary. And it's got Billy Valentine on the top rope here. And now Billy Valentine trying to escape this situation, but cannot. Dragonheart is applying pressure from the get-go. Now again, folks, the winner of this gauntlet matchup will be the #1 contender, and will meet Charlie Jean to find out who will become the first ever light heavyweight champion. Oh my God! A poison water off the top rope is the first move of this match. If that didn't tell you how these two men feel about each other, I have no idea what will. A poison rana off the top rope to open this match proceedings here, folks. And again, some of these men will still be in the Royal Rumble match. And oh, wait a minute, Billy Valentine leaving now. And oh, wait a minute, he's trying to outsmart Dragonheart here. Again, I know Dragonheart, very interested in becoming the light heavyweight champion, would love to make history. Let's not forget that Wayne Level is the first European champion in history. That can never be taken away from Wayne Level. So Dragonheart would love to become the first light heavyweight champion. That can never be taken away from him. As Dragonheart now waiting for Billy Valentine to get to his feet. Dragonheart with the springboard, and there's that Dragon Runner up the top rope. Now we talk about Billy Valentine being unique. Dragonheart brings one of the most unique styles to the MPWF ring. Ain't nobody ever wrestled a move the way Dragonheart does. And we're very glad and happy to have him here in the Major Pain Wrestling Federation. Again, Dragonheart originally opted to be on MPWF Raw, lost the core challenge, got brought to Annihilation by KK Quam, and Dragonheart hasn't complained about it since then. He's just been proving himself night in and night out. But there's that leg sweep there by Billy Valentine, and Billy Valentine with a low leg drop there, and the crowd not happy about that one. Billy Valentine now, collar elbow tie up to Dragonheart, send him to the outside of the ring. And again, when we talk about the core challenge, it was such an amazing moment for the MPWF. It's getting to see all those wrestlers from the fans. Again, I think of favorites like The Gunner. I think of people like Caleb Frost, like Lance King, right? Like, you know, and it's a shame that they're not here full time in the MPWF, because we'd love to have them all, but that's how sacred the spots are here in the MPWF. But wait a minute, Billy Valentine now. Oh, you son of a... He just hit Dragonheart with his steel steps. Billy Valentine just sacrificed his position to get a cheap shot on Dragonheart. Now, I don't believe this. Billy Valentine. I now look at him, jaw jacking by the steps. Dragonheart is now forced to face Guy next. Stacy Sweet's spotter. He just hit Dragonheart with those steps. And now Dragonheart is going to be weak here. And you know what? Billy Valentine still hasn't been pinned yet in the MPWF. And the crowd not happy about that at all. But here is Guy representing the Anabolic Experience. The Anabolic autonomy with Stacy Sweet, and you even see it there on his trunks. It says spotter on it. He is his right-hand man, and we heard what KK Quam said on Annihilation for Stacy Sweet. To do something special, to try and cut weight to make it to the light heavyweight title matchup. Again, I can't imagine what Stacy Sweet is going to have to do to cut weight to be able to challenge for the light heavyweight title. But he called for Guy, his spotter, and Guy... I don't know, what happens if Guy becomes light heavyweight champion? Is Stacy Sweet going to face Guy? Again, time will tell. But there's a rebound suplex. I cannot believe what we just saw there with Billy Valentine. Billy Valentine purposely getting himself disqualified so he could weaken his rival. And Guy is feeling very confident. And again, you talk about another underrated wrestler. Guy. Again, I think Guy needed some time in the World Wrestling Future. But again, that shows you his adaptability coming to the MPWF with Stacy Sweet, and I think he's done quite well so far. And as Dragonheart is not silly, he was not even punching his man, folks. He is definitely not feeling good at all after those steel step shots. And I went for that savant kick, but Dragonheart saw it coming. And a big DDT there by Dragonheart. So now again, after Billy Valentine pulling those shenanigans, the crowd's going to be on Dragonheart's side even further. But there's the springboard drop kick and a miss. And now Guy going for the strike. No, Dragonheart this time. And now Dragonheart kicking him in the chest. And now, oh my goodness, there's that athleticism there of Dragonheart. Unbelievable athleticism by Dragonheart. And again, it's in his name, folks. Listen to it. Heart. Right? Absolute heart. And there's the moonsault off the top rope. Going for the cover. 2. And Guy gets the shoulder up. Guy, again, trying to survive this offense here. By Dragonheart. Oh my God, what a move that was there by Guy. Right there, I'm telling you, the underratedness of Guy, and oh my goodness, how did Dragonheart manage to kick out of that? How did he manage to kick out of that? And now Guy on the top rope. And oh my God! Guy went for the clothesline and got caught. Dragonheart is putting on a clinic here tonight. And Dragonheart now springboard Hurricane Rana there to Guy. And going for the cover here. 1, 2, 3. Dragonheart moves on. Dragonheart moves on. And oh, wait a minute. This is going to be bad for him here. Here's an absolute machine in John Smith. And John Smith is pushing that 230-pound weight limit, folks. He is pushing it. But this is not what Dragonheart needs right now after surviving Billy Valentine. After surviving Guy, a competitor like John Smith is not where he needs to be. John Smith, a member of the Bloodshed Fight School, Team Bloodshed, his entire outlook has changed since joining them. And honestly, he's gotten even better as you see those vicious strikes there to Dragonheart. And this right here is what John Smith was missing. And he's got it now, and he's utilizing it. And you question as well what will happen if Shane Riley and John Smith beat each other in this matchup. They're going to beat each other up, folks. That's the way when it comes to the Team Bloodshed. And now John Smith sending Dragonheart off the ropes. And now, oh my goodness. I honestly thought Dragonheart was going to find a way to reverse out of that. He's done it before. But that elevation and power there by John Smith. And Smith now sending him into the buckle. No, he misses. Dragonheart still fighting back out in this one. And Dragonheart now going for the 619. And Dragonheart hits it. 619 there to John Smith. And oh, wait a minute. From the crowd, Billy Valentine, who never left, just tripped up Dragonheart. The referee now looking at Billy Valentine. Missed it. And look at this Dragonheart completely shaken up here. And now John Smith throwing Dragonheart inside the ring. And there's a drop kick there. And a headbutt. And wait a minute, John Smith now going to the top rope. Former member of the Varsity Club. And he's going for the spiral tap off the top. And he got every single piece of that move. 2, 3, and Dragonheart has been eliminated thanks to Billy Valentine. Absolutely disgusting, folks. But Scorpion Zinder enters next here to meet John Smith. And again, the battles these two men have had on Underground was amazing. And it certainly set them going here on this brand. Again, I feel so bad for Dragonheart. Billy Valentine once again screwing this kid. But here we go. And oh wait, there's Billy Valentine who's on the stage. And he is, oh wait a minute. Oh, Dragonheart grabbed a chair with him on the way up. These two men need to settle this, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to come to a head, and they need to end it. This rivalry needs to end between these two men of the Core Challenge. And if he's not going to be able to end it in a wrestling match, Dragonheart's going to finish it here on the stage. KK Clown needs to book this one-on-one in some kind of way that they can deal with this situation. Because now, Billy Valentine has cost Dragonheart the opportunity to become the first ever light heavyweight champion in the MPWF. And he's paying for it. As Dragonheart has Billy Valentine and it puts the FU or the attitude adjustment. You can take it the way you see it, have it the way you want it on that steel chair. And again, as much as that feels good for Dragonheart, it would have felt better to be competing for the Light Heavyweight Championship on episode 22 of Annihilation, as Zinder now goes to the outside and dives on John Smith. But we progress, folks. We progress. Entrant number 5, Scorpion Zinder. And now again, Scorpion Zinder's been going through it himself. We heard those comments by Marcus Eagle and MPWF War at least I'm not bumming around like Scorpion Zinder, and if I'd listened to my father, I would have. But on the other side, you've got Richard Hawkins telling him to join the family. And then when you see what the family looks like, for a guy like Scorpion Zinder, is it time? Is it time to turn your back on the MPWF fans? Oh my God, what a slam there by John Smith. Is it time to follow a different path? That, again, Scorpion Zinder was challenged with this, with Team Bloodshed. And he said no then. Is he regretting that decision? And we have been seeing a more vicious side of Scorpion Zinder, a more determined side. Against Zinder's biggest issue is consistency, folks. You can be the best wrestler in the world, but if you aren't consistent, if you aren't at the top of your game all the time, it doesn't matter. And that's been the struggle for Scorpion Zinder. But a nice arm drag takeover there by John Smith. And Smith now has Zinder in that bear hug. You don't see it too much anymore, but it is a smart wrestling move. Some may call it boring, but if you get the tap out victory, it don't matter if the match is boring or not. You get the W. But there's the Mongolian chop there by Scorpion Zinder. And Zinder with that big right hand. And again here to John Smith. And now Zinder has him up here. And there's a Blue Thunder bomb by Scorpion Zinder. With the cover, 2. And John Smith gets the shoulder up. And now look at these right hands here, or left hands by Scorpion Zinder. I know, wait, John Smith fights back, kick to the midsection. And now look at these Muay Thai kicks there by John Smith. And you notice how they work perfect. Again, John Smith, not a Muay Thai fighter. John Smith has been learning since being a part of Team Bloodshed. John Smith, a former NCAA wrestling champion. Okay, what could the Light Heavyweight Championship do for the career of a guy like John Smith, folks? That's John Smith now firing himself up here against Zinder, but Zinder fights back with the right hand. And again, John Smith beats Scorpion Zinder to earn the right to be in Team Bloodshed. But wait a minute, Zinder getting that bounce, and there is a standing 450 splash. And you want to talk about getting bouncy, folks. Scorpion Zinder got bouncy there with the elimination. Huge there by Scorpion Zinder. But wait a minute here. Perhaps one of the favorites to winning this gauntlet. The cyberpunk from Night City himself, Feng Li. And my goodness, I'd love to see Feng Li with that championship, and Feng Li with the evasive roll into the Hurricane Rana. Feng Li well loved by the MPWF Annihilation fans, picking up a victory over Stacy Sweet. This could be exactly what Feng Li needs here. Big insecurity takedown there to Scorpion Zinder. Again, Feng Li versus Charlie Jean would be an incredible matchup. As Li now sends Zinder into the buckle. And now look at these kicks here by Feng Li. And another kick to the face there as Scorpion Zinder is reeling. And this is the part that's so tough about these gauntlet matches, as there's a second row frog splash, is the fact that, again, you got to go all the way. Feng Li coming in at number 6. So say Feng Li eliminates Scorpion Zinder here right now. He's still got 2 more men to compete against if he wants to be the number 1 contender. Zinder has 3. It's very tough, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, nice drop toe hold there by Scorpion Zinder. And now Zinder driving those knees there right into the neck of Feng Li. Again, this is how we prove your toughness here in the MPWF. And now nice arm drag takedown there by Scorpion Zinder. So we know that there is a mystery opponent and Shane Riley still to come out here. And now wait a minute, what is Scorpion Zinder going for here? And oh my goodness gracious me, what a move that was. And a 2 count, but what a move by Scorpion Zinder. And again, it's consistency, folks. Potential is as cheap as table salt. And Scorpion Zinder has all the potential in the world, but he needs to stay consistent. And now Feng Li is in trouble with Scorpion Zinder. Diving, and oh my God, what a DDT there by Scorpion Zinder. And the World Fighter is pulling out all the stops in this one. Zinder wants it badly, ladies and gentlemen. He wants it badly. And oh, Feng Li rolled all the way out the way. Zinder missed time now. And oh, German suplex there by the cyberpunk. And again, what's interesting about this division here is the fact that both these men are visibly cruiserweights and could compete for the cruiserweight title like war, but you see a guy like John Smith who couldn't compete for the cruiserweight championship. You have to change your game up. It's not just about being the quickest and the most nimble. You have to deal with the power and strength of some of the men in this division. And there's a beautiful top rope butterfly suplex there by Feng Li. And Feng Li now hooking a leg here on Scorpion Zinder with the cover, 2, and Zinder just gets the shoulder up. Then you can hear the appreciation by this Boston, Massachusetts crowd here for this matchup. And now Feng Li went for that kick. Could have injured the ankle. And now Scorpion Zinder. Big right hands there by Zinder. Firing back here. Again, there's that viciousness that we're seeing here. And another right hand. And again, a man you know that is paying attention to this is a legit one, Richard Hawkins. As he still believes he can convince him to join the family. As wait a minute, here comes the 450 for the second time. And that's got to be it. Scorpion Zinder to move to the next round on Feng Li. And Li gets the shoulder up. And Scorpion Zinder now has to stay calm. Stay calm. Feng Li is a top-level competitor. And again, the impact that you got off that first 450 is not going to be the same as the second one. You've been in the ring for a long time, and this has been the longest stretch here in this gauntlet matchup. And now Feng Li there, nice reversal to the pin here with the cover, 2. Oh, Feng Li gets it, and Scorpion Zinder looking like, oh my goodness. Scorpion Zinder couldn't believe it, but Feng Li goes and gets the pinfall here with a roll-up, and oh, wait a minute, folks. The Iron Sheik is back. The Iron Sheik is back. 2 episodes in a row. And oh, big STO clothesline there by the Iron Sheik. What's up, Bubba? Iron Sheik is here, folks. Just flipped off the crowd. I love the Iron Sheik, ladies and gentlemen. What a guy. Again, RIP to the Iron Sheik, folks. But my goodness, the Iron Sheik as a light heavyweight champion. Again, you talk about Super Slam Showdown. Imagine him defend that title on that show with those promos. Good grief. But nice suplex there by the Iron Sheik again. A very good ground-based style wrestling background for the Iron Sheik. Again, no one's given him mic time yet in the MPWF. Again, we're trying to stay on the air here. We're trying to stay on YouTube. And now there's the takedown, and the Iron Sheik now looks to finish Feng Li. And here it is, folks. The camel clutch. He's going to break your back and make you humble. He is making him humble right now. And Feng Li might have to tap out. But wait a minute, Feng Li, though, able to escape. And Feng Li, no, nice tripping him. Feng Li now with that Hurricane Runner again to the Iron Sheik. You never know who's going to show up here in the MPWF. That's why I love this place, folks. As now Feng Li with a clothesline here. Iron Sheik in trouble. And now, wait a minute. Big DDT there to the Iron Sheik. And the Iron Sheik back in the day never took a move like that. I'll tell you that right now, folks. And now Feng Li with a clothesline. Iron Sheik all the way to the floor. And the Cyberpunk from Night City looking to go high risk on the Sheik. And now diving over the top rope. Big impact there by Feng Li. Now you can feel that Feng Li can taste it. We know the next man out will be Shane Riley, and how lucky it is that Shane Riley is entrant number 8. And now there's that springboard Hurricane Runner there by Feng Li. And he's now going to be looking to go for the frog splash off the top rope. And Feng Li with the paws in the air. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hooking a leg there of the Iron Sheik with the cover, and Feng Li moves to the final round here. Yeah, Iron Sheik, he's pissed off at Feng Li, but he got eliminated. Don't worry, you'll be back. We'll see you back there on the ground. Let's see if Iron Sheik signs a contract somewhere. Maybe the Mac Pack. Lord have mercy. Could you imagine Iron Sheik in the Mac Pack? But wait a minute, Shane Riley there with a spear again. What? That's his new move now? Huh? Is that his new move now? Broke the ribs of Ricky Cash, spearing through that barricade. Again, he was talking reckless to Ricky Cash on Annihilation. And Ricky Cash put him in his place. And then the Savage Weight Shane Riley decided that it was best to injure Ricky Cash in that main event. Shane Riley wants respect, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this all comes down to. Again, he has been a tag team wrestler ever since we returned to YouTube. Again, he was tag team with Rhino Rick Jones, and then tag team with Klaus, being tag team champions with all of them except John Smith so far, folks. And Shane Riley is ready that everybody starts to pronounce his name in that singles sphere, in that singles division here in the MPWF, and becoming the first ever light heavyweight champion. Taking out Ricky Cash could put him on the map there, folks. Again, his matchup with Angel Ortiz at Halloween Havoc was unbelievable. And we really, in that contest, got to see what Shane Riley was all about. So I think this is just the beginning of the Savage Weight here, dominating on the Annihilation brand. And you notice how he's going for constant pinfalls here against Feng Li. He knows that Feng Li is weak. Feng Li has been in this one for a while, but what is tornado kick there by Feng Li? And Feng Li desperate to try and survive this gauntlet matchup, but a kick out. If Feng Li could win this one, he would certainly deserve to be in that light heavyweight championship matchup. Not that he doesn't with his performance so far, but you would not be able to take the accolade from him whatsoever. As Feng Li now twisting the wrists there. And now look at this springboard hanging onto the ropes. A beautiful move there by Feng Li. Another Hurricane Runner. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Feng Li loves those Hurricane Runners. And there's the Poison Frog Splash. But Shane Riley able to move out the way. Muay Thai and submission specialist. And right there, there's a PK kick by Shane Riley. Driving that forearm into the face. With the cover. Kick out. Again, Shane Riley, when he first got to the MPWF, very skinny, ladies and gentlemen. You see that a lot with that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, but realized he needed to put on more size to compete with the top stars in the MPWF. And that's what he's done. As Feng Li again twisting out that arm. And Feng Li going for another Hurricane Rana here on Shane Riley. The former F-Gen champion, the Cyberpunk from Night City, sends Shane Riley into the ropes. Now big shot to the back there by Feng Li. And now there's a release German suplex off the top rope, and Feng Li running for the cover. Running for the cover to win this gauntlet matchup. 2. And Shane Riley gets the shoulder up again. Again, this is an awesome matchup. Boston Mass loving the action here tonight. And again, still to come, European Championship on the line. An added matchup. We thought that this was going to be the end of Underground. Well, it's not, folks. As long as it's open fight night, we'll keep on going. As these two men are going strike for strike with each other here. And another strike there by Shane Riley. And the Cyberpunk with another one, but Riley sees it coming. And a big right hand. And another right hand there by Shane Riley. And Feng Li fires back. And look at there's a strike combination there by Shane Riley. And that one completely knocking Feng Li off his equilibrium. And there is the armbar by Shane Riley. And that's got to be it. All he has to do is extend that body and Feng Li is done. But Feng Li using some strange flexibility there to escape. Again, this crowd will pop big if the Cyberpunk could win, and that kick right there. Another flying version of that tornado kick may have knocked him out, but wait a minute. Shane Riley put his hand on the rope. Shane Riley could not kick out of that move. And you see he's been rocked. That flying tornado kick to the jaw there almost sent Feng Li to the light heavyweight title matchup. Oh, that was a jawbreaker. A big right hand there by Shane Riley. Shane Riley doesn't know where he is, folks. But Feng Li was more rocked than Shane Riley was. And out there is the sleeper hole. And we saw John Smith go for this earlier. And look at that there, folks. Rear naked choke. Feng Li having no choice but to tap out. And Shane Riley is going to the light heavyweight title matchup. Again, what a matchup. This was the first move of the match, folks. A poison Rana off the top rope. Dragonheart was trying to do something serious to Billy Valentine in this matchup. Look at this. Oh my lord, off the top rope again. What an incredible matchup, folks. What an incredible matchup. Said Dragonheart thought he had Billy Valentine, and Billy Valentine using those steps to escape. Then this stretch here between Feng Li and Scorpion Zinda was the longest of the matchup, and it was incredible. And Feng Li catches Scorpion Zinda with that frog splash off the top rope. You see multiple near falls, and there's that one there, the Iron Sheik. Sorry, Feng Li got the roll up on Scorpion Zinda, hit that frog splash on the Iron Sheik. Again, always good to see the Sheik in here. Shane Riley started off with that spear that brought Ricky Cash's ribs through the barricade and almost got it on Feng Li. And again, Shane Riley would go for multiple pinfalls in this matchup, trying to keep those shoulders down. Feng Li with those tornado kicks almost caught Shane Riley in this matchup. Look at this one though. This one had Shane Riley completely rocked. And look at Shane Riley here. Look at where he knows. Look at his ring awareness. Look at what he knows where he is in the ring, folks. Try to speak English, but it's late night and it's not happening. But the Savage Weight Shane Riley continues his momentum and will now compete for the light heavyweight title on episode 22 of Annihilation. You know, Klaus is going to be very, very happy about this, especially after Angel Ortiz returning and stopping him on Annihilation. To see his protege, Shane Riley, going off the championship gold to bring more gold to Team Bloodshed. But wait a minute. That's the music of the Underground Men's Champion, Charlie Jean. And there he is, folks. Charlie Jean headed to the ring. And you know, he was watching this one in the monitor in the back. And he's going head to head here with Shane Riley, folks. And again, this is Manchester versus Liverpool. We've got an all-Brit final on episode 22 of Annihilation. The Scout Supernova versus the Savage Weight Shane Riley. Only one of these men will walk away and call themselves the first ever light heavyweight champion in MPWF history. It is a monumental matchup that will take place on episode 22. And it's not very often that you can say history will be made, but history will be made on our 22nd edition of Annihilation, folks. But you know another place where history is going to be made? The Royal Rumble. And that's what we're going to run down here, folks. We cannot forget that we obviously have the men's and women's 30-person Royal Rumble matches, respectively, which each competitor with that opportunity to challenge for a world title at WrestleMania. But how about this one? Antonio Goldman won the Rumble preview matchup, became the new North American champion, and is replacing Joey Eagle, and will face Hood Violence, Lamar James Jackson, for the CAW World Heavyweight Championship in a very personal matchup. And you want to talk about personal? Justice Fitzgerald versus Serenity in a rematch for the Women's World Championship from the main event of Bound by Honor, taking place at the Royal Rumble, a WrestleMania quality matchup. And again, this one for the MPWF World Heavyweight title. Marcus was going to have the title stripped of him by Meredith Grey, but Shane Carter said, you're going to have to go through it with the one at the Royal Rumble. And then this one, ladies and gentlemen, Hell in a Cell to open up the show. The winner of this matchup will earn the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. Their rivalry must end. Who will leave the winner? Who will survive Hell in a Cell? Ryan or Jamie, folks? But before we get to our main event, here is Carmen D. Carmichael, the CAW Women's World Champion. And Michelle says, what's up, MPWF fans? Michelle Meadow here. And at this time, I am with... oh wait, Carmen cutting her off here, ladies and gentlemen. And she says, Carmen D. Carmichael, yes, the greatest women's world champion in MPWF history, the actual MPWF Women's Wrestler of the Year, and ew, it's disgusting being here on Underground. But I need to get something off my chest. For some reason, people are after my title. What in the world is my sister doing back? I got rid of her. Not to mention Izanami is walking around with so much swagger because of a tag team victory. And the other woman, Lazora Azul. Lazora Azul got the pinfall and tag team action on MPWF Raw. She says, who does she think she is? I mean, who is she exactly? Miss I'm the new fan favorite. What is Brian Adams playing at? I think I have to step in. None of those three can win the Royal Rumble match. Montana should be the winner, but all the other idiots in the women's division will gang up on her because they are heathens. It is a very stressful time in my life, Mabel. Carmella ruined my WrestleMania last year. This year, I will have the biggest celebration you've ever seen once I've retained my CAW Women's World Championship. Again, it's Michelle, not Mabel. And secondly, I shudder to think of the celebration if she does win that championship. And you can see that it's Michelle. Again, Carmen Lee Carmichael is too much. But right now, it's our main event for the European Championship. And here is the former European champion, the modern-day warrior, Tom Sawyer. Again, this man was so noble when he came out here. He said, I'll fight Greg James in a #1 contendership match. And Kane Knight said, I'll fight both of you here tonight. Again, both of these men, Tom Sawyer and Kane Knight, as mentioned earlier, have been attacked by Aries, the hitman of the generation of scum. Again, I don't know where Aries is tonight. I don't know where any of the generation of scum members are. But we do know that we've got this triple threat matchup that was impromptu for the European Championship here tonight. And Tom Sawyer, again, he took advantage of an opportunity when he wasn't supposed to be in a European title matchup. He walked away as champion. Can Tom Sawyer do it again for a second time here tonight? And the thing about the European Championship as well, folks, is no one has been able to keep on to this championship. That is something that Kane Knight is going to have to think about in this matchup. The European title has bounced around with new champions all the time. Again, Wayne Level was the first, and then Greg James took the title off of him. Then Tom Sawyer took the title off Greg James. Then Kane Knight took the title off Tom Sawyer. It's a hard championship to hold, folks, and it's because all the men in this division are constantly trying to prove themselves, constantly trying to put the belt on the line. And again, he may not be liked by the MPWF fans, but Greg James is an unbelievable wrestler, and he deserves to be a European champion, you know, but everyone deserves to be a champion in the MPWF. That's the hard part. Everyone deserves the belt. The question is, can you do what it takes to get it? Greg James wanted this matchup against either of the winner of the matchup from episode 19, and now he's getting both of them at once here tonight. Also, at this time, I know it's probably late in the show, folks, but remember to subscribe to us at MPWF Wrestling on YouTube and follow us on X at MPWF 2013, as well as follow us on Discord. I almost forgot what our website was. Discord, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and be on there a lot more, but, you know, it's just, life is busy, and I'm not on Discord very often. But you guys should be in Discord. The MPWF fans should discuss with each other in Discord. I think that'd be a great thing, folks. But here we go, the European champion himself, the Tattooed Terminator, to make his way to the ring next. And Kane Knight, a veteran, just like the Avenger and Systematic Carnage earlier tonight. He's just out here to fight, folks. As simple as that. Kane Knight has had an unbelievable career in core wrestling. And now at this point, he's fighting for fun. And if he wins championships, so be it. But again, he wasn't happy with Aries preventing him from being North American champion. And also, if he had won the Rumble preview matchup, he would have got that World Heavyweight title match with Lamar James Jackson. And some people might say, I don't think Kane Knight was going to win it. Well, you don't know. He wasn't in the matchup. And that's what pisses Kane Knight off. And that's what got him angry enough to put his title on the line here against these two men. That takes some supreme confidence there by Kane Knight. And that's what's on the line here in our main event. European Championship gold. The bell has sounded and our main event has begun. And Kane Knight and Tom Sawyer telling each other, let's go. Greg James getting in the middle and saying, this is about me enough. Big clothesline there by Tom Sawyer. Now again, this is a regular triple threat rules matchup, which means it is pinfall, submission, there's no disqualification, one fall to the finish, folks. We have had three-way dance matches in the past, and quite frankly, we haven't had one in a while here. You know, I think we need to have another three-way dance match. But right now, it's triple threat rules, so Kane Knight could lose his title and not be a part of the decision in this matchup. And same goes to Tom Sawyer and Greg James. They could lose this matchup and not get pinned in the process. But these three men, they love to fight. There's Greg James now. Look at that beautiful suplex there. Greg James has a very intense amateur wrestling background. A great mat technician. Kane Knight is just a powerhouse, folks. He just beats your ass. As simple as that. Kane Knight don't give a damn, folks. That's why he's the tattooed Terminator. You don't get that name for no reason. And oh wait, Greg James now. Oh, he's got Kane Knight here. What's this? Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh Lord have mercy. You try to break that man's hip. Again, he said destination sciatica. Lord have mercy. That was disgusting. A suplex from the inside of the ring all the way to the floor there by Greg James. Again, I don't know how long this one's going to last, folks. The way they're throwing these moves out. This one, it might be a sprint. And Tom Sawyer there with a net breaker on Kane Knight. So Brian Adams is loving this European title division, loving how competitive it is. It brought Kane Knight over from Annihilation to War. So KK Quam tried to offset that with the Light Heavyweight Championship, giving more incentive for the wrestlers to stay on that show. But again, it's an opportunity here in the MPWF. Lots of divisions, lots of title opportunities. As now Kane Knight here with a backstabber on Tom Sawyer. And he's not going for the cover. He sees Greg James getting to his feet. And now, gut buster here. He's got your back, your gut. And there's a shooting star press there by the Tattoo Terminator with the cover here. Two. And see, Tom Sawyer almost lost the matchup and wasn't even involved in the decision. But he's able to bob and weave out the way of Kane Knight there. Kane Knight, a southern boy. Very old school as Tom Sawyer. And now he has Kane Knight here in that full toss into the ropes, and he gets all of it. You got to think of it like a young Magnum TA. Again, for the youngsters, you got to look it up. Look at Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard in a steel cage match for the US Heavyweight Championship. You need to check that out, folks. What an unbelievable wrestling matchup. And that is the same ilk that Tom Sawyer comes from. And right now they're punishing Greg James here. Greg James wants to prove that we still need wrestling here. Right? A beautiful gut bust there by Tom Sawyer. That forget all the shenanigans, forget all the hype. It's about what goes on in the squared circle. That's why he is the righteous. A right hand there by Greg James. And Greg James now back suplex out of Tom Sawyer with the nip up. And Greg James there with a leg drop to the midsection. Greg James now hooking that leg here to pin Tom Sawyer. Two. And oh, Tom Sawyer getting the shoulder up. And you see how Kane Knight was on the outside of the ring and almost missed. Almost lost his European title to Greg James. But wait a minute. Greg James on the top rope too long. And now Kane Knight throws him on top of Tom Sawyer. And now the European champion has Tom Sawyer up here. And now, oh, Kane Knight just launched him to the floor. Kane Knight didn't care where his body landed. He just launched him to the floor. And now, wait a minute, Kane Knight with Greg James. And now he's going to powerbomb him to the floor, and he does. It's Terminator timing there, folks. Some T-1000 action there by Kane Knight. And oh, wait a minute, we already saw 6 get put through a table earlier. And Kane Knight is about to do it again. Why did we even bother resetting this table back up, folks? Why did we even bother? There is a powerbomb through that table. Second time tonight, folks. And Greg James, though, taking advantage. You gotta watch Greg James. That's a crafty one, folks. That is a crafty one, is Greg James. And unfortunately for Greg James, Tom Sawyer getting to his feet. And now, oh, Tom Sawyer getting slammed face first into the steel ring post. And now Greg James went for the strike. Kane Knight saw it coming. And Kane Knight now with a headbutt to Greg James. Now Kane Knight going to that top rope. High risk for a big heavyweight, and there's the splash with the cover. 1, 2, and Tom Sawyer breaks it up. I told you this main event is going to be a sprint. Tom Sawyer got busted open when he hit that steel ring post, and there's a sidewalk slam there to Kane Knight. And now Kane Knight hooking that arm there, grabbing him in a wizard position, folks. Beautiful there by Greg James, but Tom Sawyer to fight back in it. Here comes the tilt-a-whirl tombs pile driver there by the modern day warrior to become the new European champion. 2, and Kane Knight breaks it up. Again, this has been an incredible night of MPWF Underground action, folks. 4 matches, 4 incredible matches that is, and an insecurity there by Knight. And a drop kick take it down, Greg James. You can hear the crowd's appreciation for this one. And now look at this suplex here to the backstabber. Again goes the champion. And Tom Sawyer going after Kane Knight now. Vicious strikes there by the modern day warrior. Oh, Kane Knight able to fight back here. And Kane Knight now hanging Tom Sawyer up in the ropes. Again, it was a different level for Tom Sawyer against the veteran Kane Knight when he lost the title. And now here comes the jackhammer slam, folks. Jackhammer slam, and he hits it. Big jackhammer. And Tom Sawyer is down off the jackhammer. And Greg James now trying to take advantage here. And an elbow there to the already open wound of Tom Sawyer. Oh no, wait a minute. Greg James now. Oh, Greg James is going to win this one. Tom Sawyer is down and out. Wait a minute. Tom Sawyer with a roll up here on Greg James. Referee going for the cover here. We can't see a thing. But Tom Sawyer gets it before Kane Knight can break it up. And we have a new European champion here tonight. 2 times in a row, Tom Sawyer in an impromptu title matchup pulls off the championship victory. Kane Knight did the work. The jackhammer slam to Tom Sawyer. Greg James threw him out the ring. But you want to talk about experience for your age? Tom Sawyer catching Greg James in the roll-up, and Kane Knight loses the European title, and he didn't even get pinned. He was not even a part of the decision, and once again, we have a new European champion. Everybody who holds this championship has butterfingers. There's nobody able to hold this title and to create a dynasty with it. And again, this was a sprint, just like I said, folks. They were going at it right from the get-go here. Here's the jackhammer slam by Kane Knight. This was where he thought he had the win, but Greg James sent to the outside, and then Greg James came in to capitalize. And look at this. Kane Knight tried to get in time, and he just missed it. And Tom Sawyer, the new European champion, and the first ever 2-time European champion at that. The kid strikes gold again. Again, you cannot say it's luck twice. Tom Sawyer, the modern day warrior, is proven that he is ready for the limelight here on MPWF Raw. What a main event, and again another special moment for this kid. It's gotta feel good for Tom Sawyer, especially before the Royal Rumble, winning back the European Championship. And oh, wait a minute, Kane Knight now arguing with Greg James here. Greg James was the one that threw Kane Knight out the ring, and Greg James got pinned. And Greg James running away from Kane Knight. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be good for Greg James here, folks. Kane Knight is pissed off. He is pissed off. And oh, wait a minute, look at this. Look at who is watching from the crowd. We don't know much about him other than he is the son of Apollo. But he is the Generation of Scum's hitman. And we don't know exactly what Scum has planned for him. But it looks like it involves the European title. And that man that has it is the modern day warrior Tom Sawyer. someday soon these two young bulls are going to battle for that championship. But again, folks, my name is Dwayne James Johnny Feelgood. This was MPWF Underground episode 21. Thank you for tuning in. I'm signing out, and we will see you for Super Slam Showdown and the Royal Rumble.